Welcome to this week's Fibrific Alive Craft and Chat, where we craft and chat live. Thank you so much, everybody, for understanding why I had to bail early last week. I ended up in like ridiculous amounts of pain, and I'm still not 100% sorted, believe it or not. But I am well on the mend. So good morning to everybody. I'm just having a quick look in the chat here. Good morning to Susanna. Welcome back to the chat. Hey, Kathy. Welcome. So good to see you. We've got our mods in the house. We've got Leanne is here. And Sally is here. Another amazing mod. And Kelly is here. Kelly was asking in the chat, thinking that maybe the emotes where you click the little heart, or the reaction emotes where you click the little heart and you can choose a reaction, why they were gone from desktop, and there were a lot of people complaining. I thought it was just me complaining, but it turns out there was heaps of people complaining because it was blocking the chat. It was really annoying. Anyway, so it's not just you. You're not there. Bianca says it's on her old Android phone. There's no button there either. Okay, I haven't checked my mobile because I just about always live stream or watch live streams from my computer. So Francis still has it on the iPad. Okay, cool. That's good to know, Francis. It might still be on iOS because a lot of these things they test and they move them around and they change them. Like, do you guys remember when we had all the cool colored names? One of my accounts had it for a while, and then another account had it for a while, and now none of my accounts have it, which is really sad because I liked that. Holly, welcome to the chat. It's good to see you. Knit Spin Girls, good morning. Or good evening. I know not everybody here is not good morning for everybody who is here. Let me just remove that. There we go. So let's jump in, and we'll get the first dice roll happening straight away so that we can try and get 4 in today. We haven't been able to because I keep chatting too much or I have to bail. Christina Trotter, it's lovely to see you here for a live. It's so good. Thank you for joining. Look, you know what? I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. It's a great idea. It's just a bad location. Absolutely. The trick is, where are they going to put it, really? Like, that's a problem, isn't it? Because if they stick it on the side, then it's awkward. If they stick it on the other side, it's still awkward. I think they might need to pop it in the bottom where we have our... I've got a, okay, all right. No, I was like, there's a plus button at the bottom of my live chat next to my, it says add reaction. Nope, that's still just the standard emojis into the chat. Because I'm thinking like reaction emojis should be down the bottom where you can just click on it and decide if that's what you want. Anyway, that's not where it is. Good morning, Crochet with Claire. It's so good to see you actually made it. That is awesome. Claire is celebrating 20 months of membership. Oh, thank you, Claire. I really appreciate that. That's beautiful. Shannon is in the house. Hey, Shannon. It's good to see you here as well. All right, so let's get this first dice roll happening. You guys know we've been playing with the audio levels, so who knows? Actually, I've just realized something. I just need to quickly change something. Otherwise, the dice roll sound's going to come through my speakers, which is not ideal. There we go. All right, let's see if we have dice roll time. Well, we need to go to the other screen. Let's go to the other screen and then have dice roll time. It's dice roll time. Did that work, everybody? Could you hear it? Could you see it? Okay. Alrighty, so you guys in the chat who know what, like, there's throwing in the numbers that you want me to roll. Alrighty, let's get the first one. Let's get the first one going. It's an 8. It's an 8. Oh my gosh. Do you know what's really weird? I'm like, I'm not going to get an 8 today. But I'm still going to set up all the things. So we have an 8. So let's get ready for the 8. Mods, do you have the link for the straw poll? It's in your list. So if one of the mods want to go and throw that in, once the link is in, it could be louder. Alrighty, I'll fix that up. Look at everybody putting in their things. Okay, does anybody have the link for the wild card handy? I'm gonna have to go and dig it out. Hang on. It's fiberfic.com/vote. fiberfic.com.au/vote. So let me just. I've lost the chat. Where is the chat? There's the chat. I wasn't quite ready, was I? Alrighty, there you go. There's your vote link. That should work. It may not work. You might have to cut and paste it. Yeah, I know. I think we've given up on the 8th, right? Me too. Me too. And it is in the description box. That is fantastic. All right, we're going to start the countdown timer. There we go. We've got 40 seconds. So you need to go over, you need to click the link, you need to go and vote over on the straw poll page if you want your vote to count, okay? There we go. There's another copy of the link there. That one will be clickable, unlike mine, which won't be because I'm silly. Has everybody got their votes in? My link doesn't work. Does Leanne's link work? I'm going to ignore the countdown timer because I want to make sure everybody is able to vote. Let me go. Okay, Lisby, you were able to vote. That's good. So Lisby voted. Game Widows has voted. Alrighty, I'm going to give it another couple of seconds, and then we're going to show the results. So we're going to go over here to the screen share page. I need to pull down the wildcard and the countdown timer. There we go. Everyone's voted. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to click the show results button. All right. So Leanne's link worked. Excellent. Thank you. All right. Show results. We're showing the results now. There we go. Here they come. We have got shocking. I'm shocked. I'm shocked at you all. There's actually no one likes Parrot. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, we have 5 votes that went to Anemone. So it looks like it's a purple row, everybody. Now, during the maker sale that finished yesterday, I may have ordered an extra ball of purple just to be safe, you know? Just to be safe. All right. Let's go back. Let's grab the purple. Goodness me. I should write that down. What are the chances that we get an 8? How cool is that? What do I do with my little notepad? I'm like, I'm so organized. Not. There it is. It's over there. Tucked behind the thing. Okay, so we started with an 8. That is cool. I got kind of thrown off this morning. I'm going to be really honest. I was all set up, ready to go. Everything's hunky-dory. Took a big sip of my tea, only to actually burn my tongue. Like my tongue feels furry. I don't have any real feeling to it right now. So yeah, not super excited about the burny tongue sitch. There we go. We'll just zoom in just a little. There we go. It's not my favorite thing in the world when I do the whole burny tongue thing. Does anyone have a way? Hasn't all the 8s gone to purple? I don't think it has off the top of my head. I think did one go to a rooster? I think one went to a rooster. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and rewatch all of the 8s, which I'm going to be really honest. I'm not going to do it. Game Widow says, in truth, I picked one at random. Is this the second or third 8? Because I know the first 8 definitely went to purple. Because maybe we've only had the 2. Okay, all right. I'm going to be really like, it's going to be a bit crazy if the next rows are purple. It's like we get all these purple ones. I'm really glad that we... Oh, thank you, Sally. I didn't realize I hadn't added it to the mod list. It should be in the description, but I thought it was in the mod list and maybe it wasn't. So, yeah. Anyway, so does anybody have any sort of remedies for when you burn your tongue? Like, is there any way to sort of get it to stop feeling that sort of, flayed feeling faster? Obviously, just adding more milk to my tea solved the problem of the tea burning my face off. FYI, in my Yeti mug today, I have scaldingly hot tea. I actually made the tea in the mug, which like last time I made the tea, I made it in my cup and then went, oh no, I want the mug. So I poured it into the mug. So I had the right kind of like what I'm used to. Anyway, now it's perfect. I can't complain. This purple is really very nice. Oh, I did set up our iPad cam again so that we can have the true color. So we can see our true colors shining through. Because it's not always easy getting the right colors. Cold milk, cow's milk, coat your tongue. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I've only got almond milk at the moment, but we've got some cow's milk coming from the store today. Because I normally have almond milk in my tea and coffee, but I usually have cow's milk on my cereal. So it's all good. Time and patience. Oh, okay. Leanne says it was on the list. Okay, thank you, Leanne. Because I'm like, I could have sworn I put it on the list, but maybe I didn't. Benefit of the doubt. It was there already. Okay. Hold cold milk in your mouth. So it's kind of like, when you're filling up your taste buds with milk or dairy before you eat like really super spicy food. It protects everything. I'm going to give that a try later, you guys. If it's still doing the hurty face, I would definitely give that a try. I don't recommend burning your tongue on your tea or coffee. That's a big 0 stars. Do not recommend from me. So who else jumped into the maker sale and scored themselves a 20% off some yarn? I did. I picked up an extra ball of the purple, an extra ball of the green, I think, and an extra ball of the blue Morpho because Abby is getting me to make her some bits and pieces and she's loving this yarn and wanted these colours. So I had to order some stuff anyway. Oh, I may have also ordered the cotton in all the colours. I already had 2 of the colours, but I grabbed more and a pile of the cream to make a big cotton blanket. Because I'm not going to Knit Fest. I'm not going to any events. I'm not travelling anytime soon other than to retreat. So I figured, you know what? It's 20% off. I will be good. My cat is giving me the evil stink eye as my lap isn't available. Oh my gosh. Macy, the new kitty. I mean, how long do we call her the new kitty for? Just out of curiosity. Macy, the new kitty, is perplexed that I picked her up out of this room and popped her out of the door and then promptly closed the door. Because she was in here just trashing things, just knocking stuff off tables. And I've got a table over here that's covered in stuff that I'm sorting through at the moment. And she was just knocking entire boxes of like badges and stuff onto the floor. I'm just like, oh, come on, honey. Oh no, for those who know why my heat sealer has decided not to work, this is frustrating. Oh my gosh. I've always used the little bags with the little pre-seal strip on it, where you've got to peel the thing, and you end up with 11 billion little staticky strips. I mean, I think a heat seal would be less frustrating as long as it works. Where did I get mine from? I think I got mine from Kogan, my heat sealer. Can you do a little show off of your beanie? This is why you don't manage to get 4 rows. But yeah, I can. So if you follow me on other socials, you will have seen that I posted a photo of the beanie I'm knitting for Abby. I'll have to dig out the name of the pattern because I feel weird talking about it and not sharing the name. So just give me 1 second while I just... I probably should add it to my Ravelry queue. I have not yet. I added it to my Ravelry favorites while Abby was choosing a pattern. But that's as far as I got. So let's just jump over here. I'm going to jump into Ravelry and share my screen in just a second. It would be favorites, wouldn't it? That one. Okay. Alrighty, so let's jump over to the screen share. So this is the pattern I'm working from. So let's cast on the project. Create it. There we go. Now we'll just quickly go back to there. So, just posted my water lily block on the fun zone considering the pattern is from 1944. Yeah, look, some of those older patterns are a bit trickier. They expect knowledge. They expect you to know what everything means. Christina has got something here. Where's my mouse? There it is. Bring it over. There it is. I bought 6 balls just before the sale, 4 balls of the greens, beige and cream to make a garter stitch corner to corner for an 18th. Is that the cotton, Christina? And I'm sorry you missed the sale. That's frustrating when you order and then a sale comes out like a couple of days later. That's very frustrating. Okay, so this is the pattern. So knit frozen snowflakes. Now, Abby wanted to be able to flip up her beanie. So I've just realized I just need to remove this. Abby wanted to be able to flip her beanie up. So I have added some additional rows. When I ordered all of the Make a Dirty DK, I actually had planned to do the blanket with white instead of the hot pink, and then change my mind because I thought, oh my God, a white blanket won't stay white in my house. I regret the decision in one regard only, which is the cameras don't like the pink. But other than that, I'm loving it with the pink, honestly. Okay, so this is the pattern, the knit frozen snowflake beanie. And this is where we're up to. So I'm using the Morpho and the whatever she's calling the white. I don't know what it's called. And this is where I'm up to. So I basically just shy of doubled the rib area so Abby could flip it and go from there. What about, oh geez, don't tell Abby about that. It's like I can't make a beanie without messing up the rib at least once. It's like a thing whenever Chantelle makes a beanie. Like if you've got a beanie from Chantelle, look carefully in the rib, there'll always be a mistake. So we're about halfway through the first snowflake. So this is where it's at. So we've got lots of floats happening. Stranded color work is not my natural playground. It's only 2 colors, which is super helpful. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Sally, for adding that link. It's only a few dollars, which I'm actually really surprised about. And it has the chart as a chart, but also written out. So if you can't follow a chart, it has it all written. So I was really surprised about that. I personally wanted to order Abby some wool for this, or use some wool from my stash because she is actually going to the snow. So I figured the wool would keep her warmer, but she really wanted the Dirty DK acrylic and she really wanted these colors. So it was just like, okay, well, this is what we're doing. So this is where we're up to. And if you want to keep up to date with projects I'm working on and things like that, make sure you're following me over on Instagram. I always post the photos over there. I don't always remember to post them everywhere else, but I just about always remember Instagram. Thank you, Leanne. Leanne has posted a link to my Instagram. So yeah, I mean, I've got to go through and, tweak some of these stitches. Some of them are a little loose, some of them are a little tight. So I've got enough room in the floats to be able to, balance it out. Was there any other questions on this one? So yeah, this is where it's up to. I haven't done any more since I posted the photo. I was going to do some more tonight. This is my sitting on the couch project at the moment, and I should have it. I started it last night, and I should have it finished tonight. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Leanne. Usually patterns like this have the written section for like the instructions on like, how much ribbing to do, when to start all your shaping, and then they have all that in there. But this one has the actual chart as a written as well. So I was really surprised about that. So yeah, but I'm using the chart. I prefer the chart. It's just easier to follow and not get lost is the other thing. So now, just to point out, I have this camera set to sort of dull it right down so the pink doesn't blow out. So I'm just going to add in our iPad camera so you can actually see the colours. So there we go. It's a much prettier blue. It's not a grey blue. It's a bright turquoisey teal blue. Turquoise blue, yeah. But it's just, yeah, it's beautiful. So that's where it's up to. Anyway, let's get back on. Unless there's other... Have you shown the floats? I love seeing them. I haven't shown the floats. Let's flip it inside out so you can see the floats. There you go. I'm not the best with floats. But there we go. This is like I said, I'm not very good at stranded knitting. This is only like my second or third project, and I kind of got put off it for a long time because I had some pretty harsh feedback on a stranded beanie I did, my very first stranded beanie, and it was pretty harsh, and it kind of put me off making stranded stuff for a long time. But Abby really wanted this, so I've sort of sat down and pulled my big girl pants on and just working on it. But yeah, this is where the floats are at so far. But it's so squishy. There's lots of give. So yeah, and the yarn is actually super squishy. I'm using the 4mm needles because I am a loose knitter. Okay, so this is a worsted weight yarn for sure. So anyone else, I would probably recommend like a 4.5mm. Test your own gauge. But for me, I needed to go down to the 4mm to get the work done. So yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna flip this the right way again. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I had something to, put on my needles to stop the yarn from coming off. I've just realized the hilarity of that. I do have some end stoppers. They're not in here. They're out. I've got my little Yodas, and I've got some others on the way in the post, but the postman is slow. So, yeah. She will look stylish in the snow. Abby's going for that 90s snow look. So if we need Morpho, I have to work from the other end of the ball for now because her hat is still attached. So fingers crossed we don't need the Morpho for today's live stream. Because she was like, well, you can't use it. And I'm like, yeah, I can. I've got the other end of the ball I can work from, Abby. It's all good. It's all good. It's so squishy. It's so squishy. I was a little concerned that it would not be warm enough, but I have a feeling it will be just fine. She actually has 2 beanies that she wants. She hasn't 100% decided on a pattern for the second one. We have ordered pom-poms from Lovely Loops at Etsy. And so if you like pom-poms, go and check them out. I'm not sure, do they do international shipping? I'm not sure if they do. Her other colors that she wants is the Galah, and no, not that one. Are you ready? It's so 90s. It's the Galah and the pink. So there you go. There we go, those 2 colours. So that's her the second hat. So we'll just, I'm not sold. The blue and the white, totally sold. The pink and the green, I'm not sold. But she is. So that's the important thing, right? Like she is. And bonus, easy care, non-pilling, machine wash. Yeah, and I'm going to put the pom-poms on so they're removable, so we can pop them off so that when we wash the beanie, we don't have to worry about the pom-poms going janky, you know. So, yeah. I should probably have made a link for Lovely Loops, but I have not. They do go together. You're right, Sally. They do. I'm just not sure how I feel about the two colours together. Does Tim require one? No, look, do you know what? Tim has a beanie, and he's quite happy with the beanie that I made him a few years back. Abby's last beanie I made for her was when she was much younger, so it actually doesn't fit. So I'm okay with making her new beanies. And I'm very happy that she is happy. She was very happy with my progress. Like, I've gone to go to bed last night and I'm like, hey, do you want to look at the progress of the beanie? And I'm sort of like, oh, please like it because, you know, I'm only doing stranded work because you want it. And then she's basically squealed over it. So that was like, oh my gosh, okay, I feel good now. Whether anyone else likes it or it's technically correct, doesn't matter. My daughter loves it. So that's the thing. And she was like, will it fit my head? And I'm like, should do, but we can't test it yet. She may like the Manning Park. So is that on Ravelry? I'm just going to go and because I've got a list in my favorites for Abby's hats. So Manning Park. Let's have a look here. The Manning Park hat. There's actually a couple. Is it by Black Crow Knits? Or is it by Grace? The Black Crow Knits looks like it's got the more space. Oh, it's a double brim. So you actually stitch it double. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know if that's Abby's pace. She's after more the big, like, you know, but I'm still going to save it to favorites and pop it in Abby's hats so she can have a look. But she's been after like the big motifs, like the real big ones. So back to this screen over here. I've got to, like, that keeps stressing me out. Okay. Alrighty. My Abby is crocheting herself a hat that looks like an apple. This will go with her fried egg hat. That is so cute. I love that. I love that a lot. Now, I didn't end up getting the emails out for retreat. I'm still sorting out, some people popped in some last bit of payment. So I'm balancing everything out so that I can give everybody their balances. So hopefully by this afternoon, that we'll have all the emails out for everybody going to retreat. But if you are here and you are, and you know how much you owe, balances are due by 14th of July. So a couple of weeks. What's the date today? Yeah, 29th of June. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely sneaking up on us. And make sure all your forms are in as well, because I've got to let Leonie know any special dietary requirements and all those kind of fun things to make sure people don't die at retreat, because, you know, that's a thing. Definitely. All pay. Sally's done. Sally's done. There's a couple of you that are all paid up. I definitely know that. So you're just ready to rock and roll and get your things ready. I had the gift bags have arrived, so I need to start cricketing those all up. They actually arrived last night. You know when it's like it's way too late for a delivery? It was like we were having dinner, and next thing you know, we get this really sick sounding horn in the car, in the driveway, and I look out and it's the delivery van, and I go out and have to, you know, get it sorted. But yeah, and I've gone out because I thought it was because I get my milk delivered, and I thought it was just my milk, but it was actually also like a second parcel had been delivered as well. So yeah, just getting all the stuff sorted. Mel says, I saw the comment. I saw the comment that said, yay, winner, and I knew we were on purple. Yeah, it's like, oh, look, why do we even bother with the straw poll, honestly? I know you're all going to vote for purple. Oh, what the heck is cricketing things up mean? So a cricket is a vinyl cutter, and it cuts iron on vinyl. Like, it can cut either just permanent vinyl or iron on vinyl, and I cut up iron on vinyl and then iron it onto totes and bags to make cute sayings and things. But we've got our retreat bags that'll have the retreat logo on them, and I need to cricket those. So I need to cut the vinyl, weed the vinyl, and then heat press the vinyl onto the bags. Leanne tried for the green. Wow. Leanne, we had a green row last time. You were trying for 2 rows of green, you sneaky sneaker. Just looked at the Lovely Loops pom-poms. Excuse me. They're also doing fiber bats for spinning. I saw that, and they look beautiful, the bats. Which is, for those of you that don't know, bats come off a drum carder where the person creating the bat makes color decisions and content decisions. So sometimes they've got sparkly bits through them, all different colors. Sometimes they're a similar color that's blended a few different fibers together. There's a lot of reasons to use a bat, and part of it is they're just plain gorgeous. Yeah, that's what those cricket things are. That's right. They cut vinyl, and then you can. I've got a tote just handy here. I've just got to the end of this row. I've got one of the previous totes. It's not this year's tote. And it. Hang on, I'll just grab it. By handy, I still have to get up and go and get it. Oh, it's crushed and got cat hair on it, but you know, you'll get the idea. I'm like, oh yeah, that was in that box where the cat was sitting. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let's just grab this other one that happened to be on the floor that I could have just reached. Okay, so it's so that you can put cute things on your bag. Sorry, I'm busy crafting today. And then on the other side, we have our Fiberific logo. So yeah, that's the vinyl. It's totally washable. I don't know. I wouldn't put it in the dryer because it's a heat sensitive thing, but you could pop it in the dryer for a bit if you wanted. But yeah, and I cut vinyl on mine. You can cut paper on it, cardboard, depending on, because you can switch the blades. You could actually cut fabric. So when I'm making some of my little zipper pouches and things like that, I'll actually run the fabric through the Cricut, especially if there's lots of curves and stuff like that that are just painful to cut out. I will quite often just throw it into the Cricut and let that cut it, because I've got the roller cutter exactly for that. So many different things that you can do with a Cricut. You're basically limited by your imagination. Oh, guys, before you buy t-shirts for retreat this year, I have made the decision that I'm not going to be doing shirts this year. Okay, so if you've come to retreat before, you've been able to get a shirt with the logo for the retreat done on the shirt as well. I have decided to not do that this year. I'm very sorry. If you really desperately want it, DM me. But it kind of started because someone else was going to do them at retreat, and I didn't have to worry about it. And now that they don't come along anymore, I have to do it, and it's just one too many tasks, which just seems complainy, and I don't want to sound complainy, but it's, yes, and those that are still waiting on theirs from last year, they will definitely be coming, so don't worry about that. But yeah, it's just, it's just one too many things for me to remember and to get done. Susanna says, oh, it's only just clicked. I've been calling them cry cuts. And at first I thought my Spotlight catalogue had a spelling mistake for the cricket. No, do you know what's really funny is I called them cry cuts for a long time. Part of it was because a friend of mine really, it's like it gave her an eye twitch whenever I did it. So I specifically did it just to cause the twitch. And it, and then one day I was actually at a retreat where we were using our crickets, and there was a cricket in our room, and she joked about how it came into my room because I specifically don't like bugs, because I keep calling it a cry cut instead of a cricket. So it's coming to look like a thing, a point. It was making a point that it's a cricket, not a cry cut. And so ever since the cricket came into my room and sat on my pillow, I have called them crickets, not cry cuts. Do they iron on? Yeah, that particular one that I was using that I showed then, that was an iron on. And I've done one that's multi-layers for Abby. I've actually done a multi-layer one for Justin that says Mike Who in the Primal Video logo layout and colours. That one was a bit of fun. But yeah, so you can multicolor it, you can layer it, you can do all sorts of things that with the iron-ons. But you can, there's so many things you can do with a cricket, honestly. So many different things. So paper craft, fabric craft, vinyls. You can't see it, but one of the drawers here, I've actually got some permanent vinyls of monstera leaves on it. Because this was from Abby's room and she loves all those sort of big leaf plants. My replacement cricket is still in its box. Should probably get it out after Bendigo. Yeah. I got a cricket for Christmas a couple of years ago, and then spent probably as much as the cricket itself on mats and blades and the bits and pieces that go with it. So they're not an inexpensive option. Actually, the other thing you can do is see this cup. This was made on a cricket. I'm just trying to hang on. It's full and I certainly don't want it. So this particular cup, this was done with a cricket, and this was sublimation printed, and so it's actually heat set directly onto the tumbler. This can go in the dishwasher and everything now. So this was done on a cricket as well. So, and coffee cups, you can do coffee cups on it and everything with the sublimation printing. But yeah, so many options, so many things you can do. I can't do any of the sublimation printing because my little irons don't go hot enough for it. It's specific heat things that you need for the sublimation, and I don't have it. You can buy the cricket coffee cup thing, heater, iron on. I don't know what they're calling it. The coffee cup creator. Who knows? It costs a lot of money. I'd have to make a heck of a lot of coffee cups to get the money back on that one. But yeah, so you can do them in like an oven that you're not going to use, like a little camp oven kind of thing. It's a bit like dyeing in a microwave. You can't use that for food again. I think the sublimation people are like, if you air it out, you can do it again, and like you do food in it. But I don't know. I don't know enough about it. The idea of all the toxic stuff doesn't fill me with confidence of using the oven for food again. I don't know. You possibly can. I don't know enough about the sublimation for coffee cups and tumblers. So yeah, lots of options for using a cricket. I love mine. Mine's been in the bag for a little while. I've not been in the cricket frame of mind, but I have to get back into it because I've got to do totes for the retreat. And the totes are different this year, FYI. We've got different totes. So, they're different. Let me just look here. Freaky's in the house. Hello, Freaky. How are you? Over on the Fibrific website, every now and again, I open up the ability for you to be able to buy a tote bag that I've cricketed some cheeky crafty saying onto. I don't know if there's any available at the moment, just because, you know, the cricket's packed away. Yeah, I think everyone's good. I've got extra warm in here today. I've got a blanket on my legs and feet and under my feet, and I've got a heat pack on my back just in case. Just trying to make sure I don't have any sore bits this time round. Last live stream was just very, very painful. Also, I'm back in a very good chair with lots of support, whereas last week I made a grievous error of using my little rolly stool. It has now been relegated to standard wheels. I took off its rollerblade wheels and put them on this chair. Freaky says we've got some of the wildfire smoke in the air. Oh my goodness. I forgot that you're in Canada, and Canada's getting hit hard with fires at the moment. So I hope you are safe, and so are the rest of our Canadian and northern North America. Is that what I want to say? I'm not sure if it feels like it should be north, like New York's getting lots of smoke and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. No, this is still residual from after last week. So basically, last Wednesday I had my training. I was a little stiff but felt amazing. Then I made the mistake of sitting on a funny chair with no blankets or anything, and it was exceptionally cold in here, and my knee froze, and I couldn't actually feel it for about 3 hours after the live stream. I was like heat packing it and trying to get all the circulation flowing back to it properly, and then I've been dealing with the swelling now for the last week, and it is just about all gone. It's just a little stiff today, but no actual pain, which is nice, because once the feeling came back to it, there was a lot of pain, and I can't take anti-inflammatories, so I just had to, on a very cold day, I had to alternate between heat packs and ice packs. So it was very, very cold, and I did not want to have to use ice packs, but I did have to use ice packs because heat packs are great for muscles, but they don't do anything at all for swelling. So I had to use the ice packs for that. Not my favorite thing. Definitely not my favorite thing. Oh, so far safe, just a bit of smoke. Okay, all right, that's good here. Florida Manufactured Living said it's just dropping below the 27 here. Well, it's supposed to be actually quite nice here today. I don't know what the temperature. Let me just check. I'll just check what the temperature is today. It's 18.5. Feels like 17.7. So, yeah, it is. Because it's winter here, but it's subtropics. So, like a 27-degree day is fairly, like we have winter days that will get up to 25, 26 degrees Celsius. But then the temperature, the second the sun goes down, just plummets. So, yeah, it just absolutely plummets. So we have these like lows of 0 and -1 up to highs of 26, 27. So it's this huge temperature variation in the day. Claire at her house says it's 7 but feels like 0. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Yeah, Dolores, it was not ideal. Let me just go with that. Not ideal. It was a couple of really rough days. My leg actually was not really coping with being a leg. Sally says it's 10 where she is, so 51 Fahrenheit. So, and this is the thing, like we're all in Australia, like Claire is in Australia, Sally's in Australia, but they're in different states than I am. So our winters, We quite often joke about Queensland winters, how it was on like a Tuesday last year, and you had to get a long sleeve shirt. This winter we're getting a cooler winter, which I am enjoying, but I enjoy it when I'm not in this room because this room has no heating. And even though I put the lights on early, and our house is designed for sucking the heat out, so we don't have carpets, we have vinyl floors. To try and keep the house cool through the summers. So even like outside's probably warmer than inside, truth be told. Sally says it feels much warmer with my hoodie on. I've got my hoodie as a blanket. It's under the table. I've got it inside out as a blanket. So it's doing its job. It's doing its job, sort of. And we're going to have an hoodie gang at retreat as well. So those of you that can bring your hoodie if you've got one. Susanna says the bomb says it's 2.6 but feels like 1. I grabbed Macca's before the live and it was cold. Oh my gosh. Like as in the Macca's that you paid for was cold, or that it was cold when you went out? 6 feels like 3 here in Western Australia. Gosh. Yeah, like I do sound like the biggest winter. It's so cold, but it's 18 degrees. It's cold in this room. I should probably clarify that. This room is cold. It gets no sun because I've got all sound blankets up covering all the windows. And yeah, there's no heater, which we're going to remedy. I was talking to Tim about it, and we're going to get a heater for this room. Just a little fan heater just to take the chill out. I think this year we have a proper winter. Yeah. And I'm enjoying it. I'm loving being able to sit on the couch and rug up, and I'm loving it, except for when I have to sit in this room and not have like extra layers on. Quick question. Should I move where I increase every few rounds to stop my circle turning into an octagon? There are some really interesting options for creating circles that don't have the visible markings. It depends on how you've started it, I think. I would definitely jump on YouTube and be looking up for some options if you want it to stay round. Because you definitely don't want that octagon sort of look if you can avoid it. So, yeah. But there are some ways to adjust for it. I'm just not quite sure where you're up to and what you can do with your particular pattern. We're nearly up to another dice roll time, everybody. Wouldn't it be funny if we got another 8? I'm using up the end of a yarn bath here. Sorry, this is why there's no blanket in this camera, is because I'm nearly at the end. So once I flip back to the start, there'll be blanket back in this camera again. Yeah. So what is everybody else working on? Like I've got this blanket, and I forgot to ask at the start because we were talking about other things. But what are you working on? Let me know in the chat. And if you've got photos, feel free to go and pop them in under today's, comment in the link. Like I put a link in for today's live stream in the fun zone. And if you click comment, you can add your photos in there so we know that which week you're up to on your project and things like that. So we can check it out and put our big love hearts on them and squee over your work, because I love to see what you're all making. I really do, because I get to see what I'm making all the time. And I don't get to see what you guys are making. Sally's popped in the link for the Fun Zone. If you're not a member of the Fun Zone, you will need to answer a couple of questions on the way in. They're very difficult questions, things along the lines of, do you like yarn? It's more just to keep out the spammers. Oh, man. I joined a new group. I found a new group that looked quite interesting over on Facebook. And I ended up just rage quitting this group. I tried contacting administrators. I tried reporting posts. Basically, there was 60,000 people in this group, and it has been absolutely taken over by spammers and scammers, like trying to give away free Aldi gift cards and, type, done when on this, and we'll send you a link to this thing. And it was terrible, and every second post was something along the lines. And the moderators have totally there were no moderators, but the administrators of the group had totally abandoned the group and not said anything. So there's people in this group who are like, hey, is someone going to do something about the spammers? Is something going to happen with the spammers? This is getting ridiculous. But the admins are not checking messages. And I sent all 3 admins DM, and none of them even read the DM in a week. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm out. And I don't normally announce my exits when I leave a group, but I announced the exit on that one. And then the lady was like, how do I unjoin a group? So I typed out the instructions of how to unjoin a group. But it was just really disappointing. And those links that were added to the, like, every now and again a post looked legitimate. Like, oh, I've just worked on this. And then you kind of look at the photo and you're like, that doesn't look like a photo that someone took in their house. That looks like a photo from a pattern. And it was a Bitly link. And I was just like, right. Okay. Scams. So, and then someone said they followed the Bitly link and ended up on a weird website. And it was just like, so even some of the actual crochet looking posts were just scammy as well. It was very disappointing. It was so disappointing. Okay, so let's have a look up in here. Like I was just rambling on. So we've got, Claire says, what are the evening temps hit there? Will it be too warm? Look, we're dropping down to the 0s overnight, 1s and 2s overnight. Although the last couple of nights have been a little warmer, I would say. There we go. Bianca is still knitting on her dress. Well, dresses will take some time, I would assume. Beanie I can knock out in a couple of days, but a dress, I would need more time. Leanne is on her first cardi, but she's stuck on the ribbing, so we'll go to the Cal page after the live for some tips. Excellent. Game Widows is sewing up as much as she can. Game Widows is hitting Bendigo woolen shows with all of her Bendigo, the Australian Wool Show at Bendigo. She will be a stall holder, so if you are going to Bendigo, you need to go and find Game Widow's stall. She's got all of her amazing totes and humbugs and so much more. You need to go and check it out. Vampire is sorting out the top of her footstool. Holly is working on the same blanket as you, but otherwise I'm knitting a sock, and it's the first time I've ever knitted a pattern sock, and I learned a new type of heel. Which kind of heel are you using? I really love, and I always screw it up, and I think it's like the peacock heel, but it's the partridge eye, and it's just a really nice looking heel with some strength to it. I'm knitting a top-down cardigan. The fun lace pattern is done. I've separated for sleeves, and now I'm just plain knitting until the end of time. Okay. Christina is sewing in the ends of the Belvedere shawl that I bought last year from Great Southern Yarns at the sheep show. Nice. That's me knocking out a beanie. Yeah, sure. Maria is working on a knit lap blanket, and I did finish a sewing project for a zippered notions bag. Awesome. I love it when our crafts combine. Like, you sew yourself something to store your knitting or crochet stuff in, because you can do some sewing. I'm not a very good sewer. I can do basic sewing, and so I can make like little bags and things like that. And I love being able to utilize the bag that I made in one craft for the other craft. So, Kathy is still working on her cable blanket and the millstone stitch blanket. I've been looking at the millstone stitch blanket, Kathy, as a possibility for my next blanket. I've got 2 to finish off at the moment. I'm working on a granny ripple and also the corner to corner, join as you go. But once I finish those, both of them, I want to start another blanket. So I'm tossing up whether or not to do the millstone or whether or not to do something with squares so that I can use my new blocking board thing that I bought. I've moved into taking up hubby's new PJ pants so he can take them to Knit Fest. We've got the cutest cabin close to the action. Oh my gosh, that's going to be so awesome. I'm so glad you guys are going. I learned how to knit a heel flap and a gusset. The first 4 pairs were vanilla socks that have made the afterthought heel. Okay, I've never done an afterthought heel. Emma does a lot of afterthought heels, I think. Sally is currently searching on Ravelry for an easy knit cardi pattern that I could possibly start and bring to retreat. That sounds like an awesome plan. That does. Alison is knitting a scarf using some bright hand spun single ply straight off the bobbin. The pattern is called you throw these words in, Ondulant Scarf by Carol Feller. So, Ondulant. I'll have to look that one up. And Shannon has been working on her vest. That is awesome. That is awesome. And thank you, Leanne, for popping in a link there for Gamer Widows. So if you follow Leanne's link, you can go and check out her Etsy store. I know that not everything is on the Etsy store because she's really focusing hard for Bendigo. So, yeah, you can get an idea and then you will have more choice if you're at Bendigo or if you're coming to retreat, because I think Emma's bringing the leftovers to retreat so we can all buy from there. So, fingers crossed there's a couple of things left. It was that the Ondulant scarf was in the Ply magazine. Okay, cool. It's dice roll time, everybody. It's dice roll time. Roll the dice to choose the next colour. Mel is working on a love note by Tin Can Knits. Had the yarn for ages, but only just getting to it. Quick, throw in what number you would like me to roll into the chat. I'll put the purple back. I mean, we'll just put the purple back. I know the purple's coming back again, like at some stage. Look at this. Come on, 3. Anything but purple from Leanne. There we go. Here they come. Freaky Geek with a 12. Jeez, mate. 3, 7. Some 7s. A 1 from Sally. I was just having a look, actually, and none of the skeins have got yarn bath. So I'm happy for whichever colour. There we go. Let's have a look. Ready? Oh, it's an 8! It's a second 8. What are the chances? Oh my goodness. It's a second 8, everybody. So let me just clear the last. Just don't go over just yet. I've got to clear the last poll. Let me reset it. There you go. Reset. So jump over and you can vote over on the page. Can one of the mods throw the link back into the chat again? I'll actually pin it this time. Like a good... I'll actually see if I can scrub back and find it. Oh, there we go. Kelly's got it there. So I'm going to pin that. There we go. That's pinned to the top there. So go and vote. I'm starting the countdown now. While I fix up my heat pack and have a sip of my tea. Oh my gosh. in my Yeti mug, where my tea is still just as hot as it was. Lisby did not vote for 3. Okay. All right. That's it. Time's up. Oops. There we go. I want that gone. Now we need to go over to here. Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see which color everyone chose. And it is number 7, Duckling. Look at you guys go. Look at that. All right, let's have something a bit different. Number 7, Duckling it is. There we go. Alrighty. We're getting, as we get in and actually get used to actually being able to vote, we're getting down pat with the voting. Hey, Pat Jacobs, welcome to the chat. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're learning how to do it. Morpho just didn't get over the line. I know. I'm kind of relieved. Like, I really love Morpho, and we haven't had it for a while. Morpho is the bright blue, for anybody wondering. We haven't had it for a while, but also it's kind of being used right now. So I'd have to work from the outside of the ball, which is not my favorite in this particular instance. I don't usually care that much, but we're using these big bullets things. So I'm just going to bring back our little show the colours for what they are screen. So that's actually more like what the Duckling is like. It's more of a, instead of a soft buttery custard, it's more of a bright yellow. I think because we had the Rooster, which is a little muted. But yeah, we needed something bright, something boof. Thank you for posting the link for the millstone. Thank you, Kathy. That's awesome. Morph got 4 votes, and Duckling got 5. Rooster got 3, and Anemone still got 2. So it was a little interesting, a little bit of an interesting deal for our factoronies. So let's jump back to the live stream screen so I can see how everybody is going. I have a question. Now, I know I've made the voting screens and everything like that, but do you guys enjoy this process that we're doing, where we're rolling the dice for the project, where we vote if it's an 8, things like that? Like, are you enjoying this whole process? Put yes in the chat if you are enjoying this whole process of these Math Rocks blankets. Because I'm enjoying it, but I also get concerned that people get bored. So, and because we are making sure that every dice roll is on camera, it is slowing down the progress on the blanket. So, I just have concerns. Yes, lots of yeses. Thank you, guys. That's great. I can't believe we've had 2 8s today. Honestly, I really just can't. I'm just blown away, honestly. Is anybody complaining? No one's complaining, but see, this is YouTube. People don't complain, they just leave. So I don't want people to leave. I like hanging out with you guys. And we have had lots of discussions over the productivity streams. There have been comments and votes happening over there. The majority of people, it seems, either like the 3rd Saturday or they don't care which Saturday. So at this stage, I've got to just double check dates. But at this stage, I will be doing a productivity stream on the 3rd Saturday of the month from 10 until it's over We don't have a set time for that one. Where we chill, we have the music playing, and we just get stuff done. It doesn't have to be craft related. It's just chillaxing back with the music going, with me just checking in every now and again to see how everybody's going, making sure that they are happy with their productivity, that they're getting things done. Holly says, I had to confess I voted 7 because I really like my 7, like as in Holly's 7, and I wanted to use it in my blanket. That's kind of funny. That's funny because Holly, you're using my numbers, aren't you? Like the numbers I roll, you're using for your blanket. Shannon says, it's fun and I love the look of the blanket. Oh, I love the look of this blanket. And I love that it's such an easy make. Do you know what I mean? Like the Queen I loved, right? It was beautiful and it's massive and every row was a bit different, but it was also, there was some rows I really had to concentrate on, which made the chat a little stressful for me because I'm trying to interact with the chat as well as work on this complicated row. These rows are not complicated. It seems like, you know, they're so busy and it's so different, but the rows themselves are not complicated. So I really very much like that. I can't wait to use this blanket, to be honest. It's so squishy and thick and it's just going to be perfect on the couch. This one's, at this stage, this one's for me at this stage. Although my mum has mentioned that she quite likes the look of it. Although I'm surprised because she's not a pink person. So she is also on Team Purple. Yeah. I'm just checking the chat, make sure I'm all caught up. This blanket's falling off. It's starting to get a bit longer now, so we're starting to come across the whole I'm going to have to start folding it under issue, which is a good sign. It means that we are... Oh, I've just realised. So the first 8 we ended up doing a 3. The second 8 we did a 7. Holly says, I'm trying to keep the same roll number as you. I was out of town for a couple of weeks in May, so I have to catch up. Okay. I have to catch up with updating the rolls on the Ravelry page so that if you're just playing along, you've got all the numbers right there. But I've been a few weeks behind on that. Game Widow says, did I tell you I finished my handspun jumper? I think I saw photos somewhere. I don't know if you mentioned it here for everybody though. So I am very happy that you finished that. Shannon says, after I finish my vest, I'm going to make this blanket as a good introduction to Mosaic. Yeah, I think it's a great introduction to Mosaic. It gives you your Mosaic skills without all of the additional, I say stress, but it's not stress, but the additional difficulty. So this teaches you all the mechanics of Mosaic without having to go too crazy. That's kind of where I was trying to go with that. And it's like one row is the simple, just single crochets all the way along. The next row is just a repeat of a stitch pattern. Whereas some of the mosaics are very intricate. Lisby's still working on her hand-spun cardie. Nice. I need to put all these photos of these things need to go into the fun zone, guys. So I can go and drool at them later when I'm sitting down with my lunch after the live stream is over and can go from there. Goodness me. So third Saturday, which will be the third Friday if you're Northern Hemisphere people, third Friday evenings. So third Saturday, if you're in Australia, pop that in your calendar. We'll do our first one in July and go from there. And we'll test it out for a couple of months and see how you enjoy it. And if people aren't joining in, then we might can it. But let's have a play. Let's have a trial. You never know if something's going to work until you actually give it a go. So let's give it a red hot go and run some tests and see how it goes. Game Widow's jumper is blocking right now. Fair enough. Fair enough. I was at Bendigo Saturday. It's not, is it? The third Saturday? Oh, it is. Let me look at a calendar. 1, 2. It is 2. I don't know what we'll do. Because not everybody's going to Bendigo. So, do you know what? I'm still going to run it. I'm still going to run it because not everybody gets to go to Bendigo. It's just those of you that are going to Bendigo will miss the first one. That's all. I'm not going to Bendigo, so we can all have a not going to Bendigo wallow in our stash gathering. But those of you that are going to Bendigo, make sure you go and say hello to Gamer Widows. I'll be an apology. Yeah, you'll have some other stuff on your plate that I totally understand why you're not at the live stream. Be like, oh my God, Emma is so not my friend. She did not turn up to my live stream instead of going to the biggest craft show event of the year for the first time for her business. Like, yeah. Holly says I'll be at Comic-Con. Oh, because that's the San Diego Comic-Con. Is that date, isn't it? Okay, we're coming across a few things. That's okay. There's always going to be something some month where someone can't come. We'll have this available and the replay will be there. So if you need to motivate yourself to get productive on something, jump into a replay and work on your thing. So you don't have to feel like you need to be there live. If you've got to get Mount Foldmore folded, if you need to finish an assignment, just pop the music on in the background and off you go. Yep, Bendigo folks can catch the following one. That's right. Because with the August one, I wanted to make sure it wasn't too close to the retreat. Because then I'm not available because I'll be at retreat. But yeah, just lots of stuff. But that's kind of good that people have got things on where they need to go out and go and see actual humans, and I like that too. Holly still needs to crochet her hat for her costume. Come on, Holly, you got this. You got this. Which costume are you wearing to this one? Obviously a new costume because you haven't finished it. I took your advice and watched a previous live as I was wanting to be productive, except I was totally glued to the TV watching you work the bat and then spinning. I got no work done. Oh my gosh. Were you watching a previous... Oh, so you didn't watch the previous... Because I don't think... I think we've only done one... Oh, hang on. There was some old ones, wasn't there? Francis says, is there a big wool show planned for this year? At this stage, I don't know. I'm in the air. I don't know what's going on. I have no information at this stage. We will have to wait and see. Because I'm part of a team, I'm not the whole team, and I don't make the decisions solely. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. Big wool show. It is a big endeavor. It's a huge endeavor, and it was really only intended for during COVID when we couldn't have our wool shows, but it became its own thing, which was amazing. But I'm just not sure if we were anticipating the level of, love that you guys have given the event. I hope it goes ahead. It was so much fun last year. Look, we've had such a good time with it. It's just a lot of work. And Danielle does a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, and she also has a full-time job. So, it is a lot to take on. It's a lot. What am I doing here? The first 4 are this. So cross your fingers. I'm just not sure. It's not being cancelled or anything at this stage. It's just in a little bit of a limbo land. But I will find out. And we should make an announcement one way or another for this year. Oh, you're dressing as a DC bombshell version of Lois Lane. I have everything but the hat. I decided to make it because I have a big head, a lot of hair plus a wig. Okay. Oh, you watched old lives. Okay, yeah, some of the old lives are distracting for sure. For sure. But I appreciate you jumping back and having a look. And watching other videos too. I so wanted to try that drop spindling. Sorry if I've called it the wrong. No, drop spindling. I think that video, because I saw a comment come through, and I think that one was support spindling, where the spindles are on the table. But yeah, spindling is so much fun. Every now and again, I'll spindle for a live stream. We haven't done that for a while. We should probably, after this project's finished, we'll set up a spindle stream where I just do some spindlings. I haven't spindled in a long time, actually. I've been doing a lot of crochet and knitting. Mostly a lot of crochet over the last few weeks. A lot of crochet. And I think my fingers have been quite happy to work on this hat for Abby as a little bit of a break from all the crochet. Because I've been, making a lot of blankets and I'm using crochet to process my thinking, to work out my next steps and plans for my business and what I'm going to do going ahead and things like that. So we've got some great stuff coming up here for the Fiberific channel. We've got some really fun tutorials. We've got some reviews coming in. It's going to be so much fun. Game Widows is currently sewing a spindle sleeve. That's hilarious. That's so good. I love the Big Wool Show. It's great for all of us that can't ever go to Bendigo. Yeah, I love the Big Wool Show for that same reason. Because now that I'm not a stall holder at Bendigo, it's really hard for me to justify going. As a matter of fact, I haven't been able to justify me going at this stage. And it kind of lets me connect with, I have the added advantage of actually getting to talk to people, because we bring them in for interviews. And a lot of them are my Bendigo buddies, like Cat and Sparrows. We were Bendigo store buddies. So her store was next to mine at Bendigo. I believe she's at Bendigo this year. So you can go and check out her stuff in real life if you're going. But yeah, so lots of things. The catch for a lot of the businesses that do Bendigo is we do try to keep it in the second half of the year, and then trying to make it so that they've got time to get over Bendigo and to restock, because a lot of things are handmade, but also not be too late for Christmas and not be in the way of their sort of, a lot of them, well, not a lot, but quite a few have, what are they called? Like Advents and things like that, and things that they do special for Christmas. So trying to get in before they have to ramp up for those, but after the Bendigo rush, because I know for myself, I needed a month after Bendigo just to be human again and to catch up on just, house and because I let everything sort of slide a little while I get ready for Bendigo. But yeah, it is definitely a good event, and I don't think it's over. I'm not sure if it's happening this year. So yeah. But I'll have to have a big old chat with Danielle and we'll work out some stuff. We'll get it sorted one way or another. Wouldn't it be funny if we got a third 8? That would be so weird. It would just be like, what? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't imagine it would happen. But that's the nature of true randomality, or true randomness, is that sometimes things double up when it's truly random. So, yeah. I'm going to have some tea from my Yeti mug. What's everybody got in their cup today? Some of the panels and things like that they ran during the lunch breaks was amazing. Well, my lunch breaks was amazing to watch and listen to from the producers and the farmers. It was so good. I enjoyed the panels twofold because it meant I could have a little break. And it also meant that there was some awesome stuff that people were learning. Lots of coffee and tea, sparkling water. I've got to change over the bottle on my what do you call that machine? What's it called? My brain keeps on saying StreamYard, but it's not. SodaStream. SodaStream. I need to regas the SodaStream. I bought a thingy. I've bought the thing. I've just got to do it. Sparkling water here. My son calls it static water. See, I would call tap water static water. Personally. Sparkling or still. See, still I would call static. So, yeah, because static is not moving. Yeah, I think. My brain just went, are you sure? And then I'm like, I don't know if I am sure now. Oh dear. The things that the brain comes up with that you're like, can I say that out loud? Probs not. Probs not. Let's have a look here. We've got another comment coming through. I loved hearing from all the makers and the producers and the growers. Introduced me to so many great places to buy my yarn and fibre from. Yeah, it's like that's one of the things that the Big Wool Show was amazing. It like is amazing for. Is that you get to find out about people you just didn't know existed, and even like using, even when you're at somewhere like Bendigo, you can miss places because you just sort of walk past them, or you miss a building, or whatever. Whereas on the Big Wool Show website, you can actually make sure you go through and click every single page, and you can check out every single person. Doesn't mean you need to buy from them all, but you can go and check them all out and bookmark them and think about them for next time. Be like, oh, next time I want that. Definitely. Like last night, actually, I've got it here. I'll show it to you. I also, because I needed the knitting needles for Abby's hat, I could have quite easily made up another set of fixed circulars, not fixed, but another set of interchangeable circulars, but I didn't. I finished off our cowl that we started. So this is the reversible Listato cowl from Laura Nelkin, using a half-baked hand-dyed, here we go, self-striping sock, superwash and nylon. It was 225 meters, and it's a DK. It's an 8-ply that is a long color repeat. So you got quite you get quite a few rows, but this still needs blocking because the lace isn't open out yet. I've got to block it and get some better photos and stuff, but we're not quite there yet. But yeah, so oops, this is done. All the ends are woven in, everything. But I've still got to block it. But I finished that off so I could use the needles for Abby's hat without, feeling like I've got too many projects on the go. Because the other day I'm like, oh, I've been so good with projects. And now I'm like, I'm starting another one. And it's like, so I needed to finish something. So I finished that. Okay, Leanne. I see where he's coming from. I now have a long, Bianca says, yes, exactly. I now have a long list of great places for yarn, etc. Oh, look, it is amazing. It's so good. And like, I know a lot of the dyes and stuff, and I still realize I hadn't bought from so many of them over the years that the last couple of years at the Big Wool Show, I have bought from dyes I'd never bought from, even though I was friends with them. Because one of the things was when I was a dyer, I just only used my own yarns. And sometimes I bought some other yarns here and there, but I just never got around to using them. Whereas now I'm using all my stash yarns. Claire posted over in one of her, I think it was Claire, on her Facebook page, on her Facebook group, like what's something that you're grateful for this week. And I know it sounds like a little bit trite, but I was like, I'm grateful for my extensive stash because while I have needed to sit and craft through some thinking processes, because that's just what I do, I've been able to do it out of stash for the most part. I needed to do like the occasional spotlight run and the occasional top up order, but for the most part, everything's been here. So like Tim's blanket, which if you haven't seen that, that's over on Instagram. It's just a ripple. I had some mill ends that I wanted to use up for that, but then I needed more yarn, so I went to Spotlight and picked up 2 balls of sky blue and 2 balls of like I think it was silver or grey. I think it was silver in their Spotlight Spot Saver worsted. Anyway, got them on sale, so I ended up making Tim's, and I'd also bought the mill ends weeks beforehand, and they were heavily reduced as well. So I think I worked out that I made Tim's entire nearly single bed blanket for like $35, which is just ridiculously cheap, considering, you know, like the gumball blanket used 6 colors plus the 7th ball, so 7 times $8.50, whatever that is. Calculator. 7 times $8.50. So that was $60 for that throw for the gumball using the Aaron and Eve. And this one's a similar sort of, this one's a lot more expensive because I think I've got like 6 balls of just the pink on its own, plus the other 6 colors. And I have just ordered some extras. But because we're just using a lot of purple, I'm getting concerned we're going to run out. So I picked up another ball of purple. And then also because Abby wanted Morpho for hers, I bought extra Morpho and extra green. I really wanted to get an extra extra Galah, but it was sold out, so I couldn't get an extra Galah. But I saw that Maker this morning announced on her Instagram that she has put in reorders, and we should being the operative word, should have restocks in 5 weeks. So fingers are crossed that we get Galah. And apparently some new colours, and apparently there's some new thing. A new thing is coming. I don't know if it's a new yarn range or if it's something totally different, because Maker does do bags and totes and stuff as well. So who knows? Who knows what it's going to be? Knitspin Girl says, I only have one project on my needles at the moment, and that is so not me. I'm trying to force myself to finish this cardi though. I had to do that with the Queen. I didn't touch another project for months getting the Queen finished because I was so easily distracted from getting it done, and it had already taken so very long to do. And I wasn't limiting myself to live stream only, but I was only working on it during the live streams. So when I sat down and had a good hard talk to myself, I made sure that I was adding in extra time through the week to get the Queen finished. And we ended up powering it to the end. I was very proud of myself for finishing the Queen. It was one of those projects where I was just like, you know what? I just need to do this. I just need to get it done. So, and it kind of like, I got so used to having such a big project that making blankets was no longer daunting. and I've made a pile of blankets. So far, since the Queen, I finished towards the end of the year. I can't remember the exact dates. I did the Attic 24 Fireside, which I started and then put aside a little bit to work on the Attic 24 Spring Foss cowl. And I actually did a cowl and finished it in the set time. First time. I was very proud of myself. And then went back to finish the Fireside. So I got those 2 blankets done. Then I have also finished like some smaller projects. And yeah, I've just actually been finishing a lot this year. I'm so proud of myself. She says. Oh yeah, absolutely. You can go and check out Maker at the moment. Their sale finished yesterday, so that there's probably a few gaps in the like in colors and things like that. I know that there was still some decent amounts of cotton left. I actually ordered in her this was the tote that my last order arrived in, but I've got the clear as cotton, and I ordered all of the other colors. So I ordered another 6 balls of this, which I can't remember what she calls it, but it's basically just a slightly off white. I think it's the white, but it's slightly off white, which I love. But I've ordered all of the other colors of the cotton, and I'm going to make a cotton blanket. I think I'm going to do squares that are 1 color squares. Then I do a border around the outside in the cream. I don't want to be doing a million ends, so I don't want like a row of this and a row of that and a row of this. I don't want that. I don't want that in my life, okay? But I will definitely will be looking for some patterns that utilize up it's closer to DK cotton than Bendigo ever has gotten to. I'll just say. If you've been here before, you know how I feel about Bendigo 8-ply. It is beautiful cotton and I love it, but it is not 8-ply. Lisby is out. Bye, Lisby. Have a fun day. Knitspin Girl says, I don't feel like knitting on the cardi. I'll knit a hat or 2 for charity instead. 24 hats. 24 hats, 3 shawls, and 4 pairs of fingerless gloves later. Oh my gosh, yeah, you need to finish the cardi. You could have been finished. You know it. You know you could have been finished. Says Chantelle, who has put her Arcos sweater just aside temporarily. It's not been hibernated or anything. I'm just working on some other stuff right now. I still want to get it finished. I'm still loving how it looks. But I am also at the knit till the end of time phase of the sweater, which I think is where you're at. It's part of the problem. It's the knit till the end of time thing that kind of does us in, right? And this one's not a cardigan, so this one's just knit in the round. Off we go. Keep knitting, do some more knitting, knit some more, put some more knit stitches in here. Extra knits, no pearls, no yarn overs, just knits. But then I look at it and I just think, yes, the actual cardigan, the actual sweater itself is quite plain, but the V-neck collar and the hem, they've just got this, like they're technically ribbed, but they also have this beautiful little cabling detail. I can't wait to get to it. It just looks like it's going to be so much fun to do. Either that or I'm going to like pull my hair out. They're the 2 options. It's either going to be so much fun or I'm going to need to pull my hair out. So, you know, I'm hoping for fun. I'm hoping for the fun. Aiming for the positive and hoping for the fun. Alrighty. Look, we're right at the end of a ball here. Like there's not much left of that one. But it is dice roll time for the next colour. It's dice roll time. Roll the dice to choose the next colour. So what is it that you want? In the chat, let me know. I've got the 3rd dice for the day. I wonder if we can make it an 8 too. Let's pour some 8 energy into it. Or do you think we're being greedy with the 8s today? Maybe I'm being a bit greedy with the 8s. What number would you like? Maria wants a number 1. I would like a number 6, I think. I think I would like Amphibian. It's a nice green. Kelly's like, bring us the 8. Knitspin Girl says, bring us the 3. She wants the purple. Maybe a red from Leanne. Okay. Alrighty. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look. Okay. Let's roll it. Let's roll it. It's a 4. We have 4, which is the Galah. So it's a bit different. This is the last time we had. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Go away. The Galah is back here. These are Galah. These guys here. So let us get the Galah. And join it on. All right, down. There we go. Oh, the funniest thing. I mean, it's funny for me. Okay. Yeah, I need green too, Holly. I was like, I really want the green. But anyway, we didn't get it. A friend of mine who I met at VidCon a few years ago, because I've only done VidCon Australia. So the last VidCon Australia was before COVID, and they had 3, and I can't remember which year it was. Oh, Sally has a serious question, everybody, and she's not poking the bear. It's just a serious question. I've seen this pattern that says hold 2 strands of 4-ply together. Can I use an 8-ply yarn, or should I just hold the 2 together? It's going to depend. Like if they're trying to marl the yarn by changing one here and there, that's something else. Sometimes the yarn that you want or the colors that you want are only in a 4-ply. So that could be part of it as well. Technically speaking, holding 2 4-plies together gets you more like a worsted. It depends on the 4-plies, but it tends to get you more like a thicker worsted weight. So if you are looking at it from a density, but I would definitely be swatching it. Like Francis says, swatch it. Because you'll either be happy or you won't be happy, and only you will know if you like how it's coming out. Which is awkward if you need to shop for the yarn and you can't decide which way you're going to go. But you're going to have to, it's going to be a test to see. Yeah, it's the unpopular answer. That's exactly right. If you are going to do something that is not the same as the design, you have to swatch. And I'm sorry, it is not the popular answer. Sally says, yeah, most of the pictures I've looked at are a mild look, but I'm thinking I want a solid color. Yeah. I can see why you're tempted to go with the 8-ply for sure. But it is going to change how the fabric performs. So you will need to check it out. Usually, quite often though, to get that mild look, they will do 2 4-plies together. But it is more like a worsted than a DK. So you're going to have to swatch it and check and see how you feel about it. Yeah, I'm sorry, Sally. I know it's not the answer you wanted. I'm sorry. I said to Tim today, I'm like, I've got parcels arriving today because my husband's working from home today. I'm like, can you be the parcel lady at the door? Like, collect all the parcels. I don't need any of them for live stream, but I do need to make sure I don't get carded. So he was just like, okay, all right. And I just heard the front door go. So I don't know if he was just letting pets out or what he was doing, but it sounds like a parcel may have arrived. I've got some things coming for reviews for this channel. So I've got some toys arriving to play with, to see my opinions on. And we'll see how they go. Actually, do you know what? That could be Abby home from work, actually. She finished. So that actually could be Abby home. So we will see how it goes. I really do like this colour. It's not the best colour to contrast with this pink. So the Galah pink versus the Flamingo pink. But it is such a pretty pink. It is such a pretty pink. And I'm not a pink person, she says, making an entirely, massively, eye-meltingly pink blanket. But yeah, both these pinks are quite nice. So I can see why Abby wants this dusty Galah pink and the beautiful bright green for the next hat. Okay. Trying to get along to the end of the row. I don't know if we're going to get 4 rolls in today, everybody. I think it might be a 3-roll day. It might be a 3-roll. We'll see. I'm going to try. I'm going to try and push to the 4th. I like when we get a 4th roll done, even if we just get it started. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to get it finished. I can finish and catch up for the next stream. But I would like to get it started, so I've just got to power into these stitches. Yeah, so I'm like, my tummy's like, we didn't have a lot of breakfast. What are we going to have for lunch? And I'm like, there's not much here. I think I have to go grocery shopping. Except, you can't go grocery shopping because you're hungry and you're going to buy crap because you always do. Like, I'm that person. I am definitely the person that can't shop if they're hungry because I bring home biscuits and snacky things and, all the things I don't normally buy, or at least I don't buy much of. I'm like, oh, look, I have half a trolley of biscuits. Because it's just like, oh, that's a nice little snack. I could just have a little snack. But yeah, 28 viewers and 19 thumbs ups. Yeah. So if you are enjoying these live streams, you do need to give them a little thumbs up and maybe drop some love into the chat. That's how YouTube works out if you're having a good time. And if you're still watching, like, YouTube counts the amount of time you watch. So if you're still watching and you're enjoying it, then that is also an excellent indicator for YouTube. If you're just here hanging out. Nispin Girl says, if I go shopping when I'm hungry, I usually come home with a proud new owner of aisle 4. Yeah, it's a bit like that. And then I realize I bought half meals. Like, I've got most of the ingredients to make something except for something integral. So I can't make that meal. And then most of the stuff to make this meal except something integral. So I can't make that meal. And even if I've got a shopping list, I will still miss things. Just because sometimes I'll write the shopping list of makings for such and such a dinner, makings for this, ingredients for this. Do you know what I mean? And because I've made it so many times, I don't need to write it out to the nth degree, except I do when I'm hungry because I forget things. Bianca says, I just buy too much in general when I shop hungry. Yeah, I buy so much more fruit as well. I'm like, oh, yeah, they look good. Oh, yeah, they look good. Kathy says, I'm watching you on my MacBook and my TV. Do you get an extra for the two? I don't know, truth be told. I technically think so. I think technically it's classed as 2. But YouTube is also quite smart in working out that sort of stuff. So I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, I like to put things on the TV and then chat from my laptop so that I can have the big screen, but the convenience of the laptop. So yeah, definitely. And then I mute the laptop because I want the audio to come through the TV with the better sound. But yeah. So we are nearly at the end of this row. Getting there. There we go. All the ends that we don't have to weave in. Woo-hoo-hoo! I love not weaving in these ends. Now, I don't know, we might have some color change ends throughout, especially with the pink, because I don't like to waste it. So unless there's hardly any to start the next row with, I will start, continue on. So there still will be some ends, just not as many as it looks like. Alison says, I do my food shop online, but still need to fight the urge to buy too many snacks. I find that when I shop online, I don't, I'm not as, I seem to not watch out for the bargains. I shop differently when I'm shopping online.
And sometimes when I'm shopping at Woolies, I'll see like, broccolini's on special or something. So we love broccolini. So I only buy it when it's on special, or when it's, not too expensive. And so I'll make a whole meal around the fact that I can get broccolini. So I'll change it up. Whereas when I'm shopping online, I just go click, 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 order the things on my shopping list, and I'm done. I don't think about it that way. Dolores, you have an awesome week, and thank you for lurking to the end. We're nearly there. We're not quite there. We're nearly there. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Do you find, like, if you're in the chat and you online grocery shop, do you find you shop differently than when you shop in store? I know that there's, like, my brother, he loves it because he doesn't forget anything, whereas I tend to forget all the things that I don't add to my lists. Fraser says, last online shop on order looked a bit high, went back through and removed all of the junk and saved about $150. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that'd do it. Alison says, it's all the interesting new stuff that attracts me. Yeah, like I want to try something out new, or like, I mean, one thing I'll say is when I'm looking, because I've got a dietitian, so I'm looking sometimes for snacks for me, and something new comes out and I want to have a look. Being able to look at it online and zoom in and actually read the nutritional information instead of that tiny, tiny, barely legible writing where I have to take a photo with my phone and then zoom in. I find that sort of thing a bit easier online than. So I tend to have a little look at anything like snack wise for me that I'm going to get new. I tend to check it online first just for the ease of blindo trying to read stupid tiny nutritional information. Bianca says, I rarely shop online because it seems to take too long. Isn't that interesting? Because I actually think that once you take into account driving there, parking, walking around, waiting in line, and then getting back to your car and driving home, it probably is no longer. But also, I think those people that do it regularly, it's just like those of us that shop regularly at the same store. We know where to look, we know what to grab, and it makes it easier. So, yeah. It's one of those things. I think it's like once we get used to it, we're used to it kind of things. Now, I think next week is Caffeinated Crafters off the top of my head. I will need to double check we have bookings for July. I'm not sure if we do. I think we do, but I will double check. And then go from there. I think we do. Nearly at the end. Oops, catching on the wrong things. I don't have the stamina for real life grocery shopping. Need to save my spoons for things that are important to me. Fair enough. Fair enough. We've all got our choices that we have to make. Absolutely. And you've got to do what works for you, for sure. My brother, the ease of online shopping now has been an absolute godsend for him, honestly. It's made the world of difference. Okay, back to the Flamingo. Oh, where is the end? Are you the end? Or are you the end? You're the end of something. All right. I save with click and collect, except when I do really stupid things like purchase 5 kilos of cheese. I still don't know how that happened. I remember that. Leanne's like, I think my grocery shop was a bit high. And then when the groceries arrived, you realized you had 5 kilos of cheese. I mean, maybe you just felt like cheese and was like, did I order cheese? I don't know. I need to make sure I've got cheese. And just kept adding cheese to the cart. Sal says, my hubby brings the majority of things we need home from his shop. Look, you know what? I'm going to be really honest. Abby does the majority of our grocery shopping now. On her way home from work. She does a fantastic job. And I'll go in every couple of weeks and do top-ups of like cleaning stuff and do a bit of a big shop. But most of the day-to-day stuff, Abby picks that up for us. Knitspin Girl says, going grocery shopping with my daughter is an experience. It's like a tactical strike, in and out as fast as possible. I like to wander around and see what's on special. Um, Abby works at Woolies, so she will make the shopping list in the Woolies app, so everything is in order of the store. And then we zip around, and she's very efficient, knows exactly where to find everything. So yeah. Alison says, I like online because you can do it anytime, review everything, and cut back before purchasing. Also, some sites I can get a lot of delivered the next day for free delivery, saves using the car and petrol. Yeah. Yep. I can see all the advantages. I don't know. I tend to just go. I think it's because, like, if I need to grocery shop, it's probably because I need food, like, right now. I'm like, I've got to go to the shops. There's nothing here. And so ordering online, it means that there's still nothing here for like the next couple of days until it arrives. Yeah, Abby does get a little. The staff discount is nowhere near what it used to be, honestly. But yeah, she does. She does get a little staff discount. And also it means I don't have to go because I hate grocery shopping so much. It's really not my favorite unless I'm like planning, like cooking for Christmas and stuff like that, then I like it. And I'm like, I'm going to get this and I'm going to make this and I'm going to do this and this is going to be so much fun and we're going to have such an awesome time. And I think it's because I'm thinking about that while I'm shopping rather than actually shopping. So, you know, the benefits, the perks and benefits of both. Okay, I need a sip of my drink. As my mouth got a bit dry there, my burn on my tongue started hurting again. I was just like, oh, hello, you're back. Sally doesn't mind grocery shopping. Cool. Sally, you can do the shopping. No. Look, you know what? My issue is I don't like I actually go to a store that's a bit further away because I don't like the parking at our local store. That's really what it boils down to. I don't like the parking. And it's not even that I have to park far away. It's just, it's really badly designed and there's really tight corners that two cars can't go around at the same time and stuff like that. So it was just, you know, it's just a really terribly laid out shopping centre. So I tend to travel a bit further and one where they've organised the parking a bit better. Corey's not a fan, which I get because I don't drive, so he does have to come anyway. So okay, so it doesn't really save any time. Like you're not dividing and conquering. It's like you still both got to go together. I get that. I'm more of a divide and conquer kind of person. Everyone take on your task and off you go. Yeah, leg issues don't help. I agree with you. I've not left the house much. I've got to go to the post office. I'm being notified that there's a parcel at the post office for me in my PO box, but I have not felt up to driving much or anything at the moment. But I will have to exit the house at some stage. Yeah. I tend to go shopping because there's no food in the house and I'm trying to be good and eat proper food, but then I'm tired when I get home and get takeaway. I have so done that. There's this great little Chinese place that's just outside of a Coles, and sometimes I'll do a grocery shop and then grab Chinese, or outside the Woolies, I will, go out and grab sushi on the way home. And you're just like, oh well, I've got stuff for the other meals. I picked up things for the other meals. Today's energy is gone. I can't use that same bit of energy twice because it isn't a finite resource. Online food shopping doesn't work if you're the type of person who is fussy choosing your fresh food. I'm a bit fussy. I'm not super fussy, but I'm a little fussy. Like, I like to make sure I get all the girl capsicums because they're sweeter than the boy capsicums. And stuff like that. I mean, if I don't get girl capsicums, I'm fine. But I'm like, if I've got a choice, I'll choose. and bananas. I'm fussy with bananas. So probably just wouldn't order those two things if I was online shopping. Just, oh, hello, we're at the end. We ran out of yarn. Okay. This is the bath of the beginning of the next ball. Where is the end of this one? What a mess. Oh, Mr. Hart, what a mess. Oh, it's wrapped around a cable. Double joy. Gotta love that. That's my favourite. There's an end. Found an end. Let's see if we can sort this out enough just to finish this row. There we go. That was just caught on itself. Go over there. Where's that end? There it is. Over there. Join the yarn. New yarn. Is joined. Okay. What a mess. But we'll hopefully clean up most of this bit of yarn. It's not a huge amount of yarn bath, but we'll hopefully clean that up. And we are on to our, is it our third ball of pink or fourth ball of pink? Yeah, I love sushi too. Absolutely. You know what I've craved for days and weeks? Sushi. Thanks, friend. Do you know what? You know what? Go and get some. That's what I'm going to say to you. Go and get some sushi. I love sushi. Now, in saying that, I'm very, very Western sushi. Okay, I like the spicy tuna sushi, but it's the tin tuna. It's not the red tuna. I like the chicken sushis, and I like the sushis with the chicken and the avocado, and the tuna and the avocado, and the tuna and the cucumber, and the karaage chicken, and the sweet chicken, whatever that one, honey chicken. But I don't like the raw fish ones, and I don't like the ones with the eel or the other stuff. I'm very Western sushi. Your niece is in labour. Congratulations! That's so exciting. That's so exciting. Teriyaki chicken sushi. I like that one. Yeah, Tim likes the raw salmon sushis. I'm not into it. I don't like the salmon or the tuna like that. Teriyaki chicken and tuna for Sally. Yeah. I really like, there's a sushi place near Abby's work and they do this amazing spicy tuna one. And I'm like, Abs, can you bring me home spicy tuna sushi? And she's like, I wasn't going to stop for sushi, Mum. And I'm like, please. Please. So she does. Because I love the spicy tuna sushi. Oh, it's so good. New life is on its way. Yes, my fingers are crossed. Well, they're figuratively crossed. That everything goes awesomely, as awesomely as possible during this physically excruciating time. Auntie Gamer Widows. Well, no, it's your niece, isn't it? So what is that? That makes it I can never work it out. Is it Auntie Once Removed Gamer Widows? Ah, Sally says sushi's so good. That's why I got the Sushi and Friends hoodie. Yes. I think I've got koalas on mine. I think Claire and I actually have the same hoodie. It's a great niece. Thank you. I can never work it out. I'm good with the cousins. I can do the cousins. Because I have lots of cousins. So we've sat down and done all the math redos and the working it outs and all that stuff. Because I've got lots of second and third cousins that we actually interact with. Great aunt. Yeah. I'm sure Gamer Widows will be a great aunt. Oh. How are we at for time? Oh. All right. You guys need to make a decision. I've got just a little bit to go of the Galah. Of the Flamingo. Do you want me to do the dice roll for the next colour? So that next week we can start with another colour, or do you want me to wait? So you can choose. I'll only probably do a stitch or two of it on camera, but you get to choose if we do the fourth roll. But it'll be a couple of minutes because I've got a few stitches to get through. So you need to let me know. Oh, I say niece, but it's actually hubby's cousin's kid. Okay, fair enough. Oops, what have I done there? I trashed that, so let's try again. Another dice roll? Okay, all right. Kelly wants another dice roll, please. Roll the dice. And Bianca says no, wait for next week. Well, see, Bianca, what happens is if I do the dice roll now, then I finish these two rows off camera, and then we get an additional dice roll at the beginning of next. Or we just don't do one now and wait until next week. So you guys let me know. I'm just going to watch my hands a bit to try and doing the dice roll, the dice roll, the dice roll. Okay, all right. Francis says next week. Oh, Bianca says in case it's another 8. Okay, this is the deal. If I'll do the dice roll, but if it's an 8, we'll finish it all off next week. How's that sound? We'll do a compromise. So we're nearly at the end of the row. Maybe a minute. Sounds fair? Yeah. Because I get that. If we do get another 8, and we have gotten a few 8s today, then it would take too long. And I agree. We'll wait until next week. We'll start off the stream with the vote. Otherwise, we'll just start the stream with the next dice roll. If it's an 8, let's just choose green. Holly really wants a green. You guys can, because I don't vote in the votes, so you guys can choose. I suppose I should vote. No, I don't want to vote. I don't want to sway it one way or another. We're nearly at the end. It's so close, I can feel it. Whoops. I munched up that stitch. Let's try again. There we go. It's amazing how much more movement a stitch has when you're not catching the wrong thing, right? Okay. And I think we've just about used up all of the yarn bath off this new pink as well. So double bonus. I love it when we don't have the yarn baths. When it's just all nice and neat over in the shelf between streams and not having to worry about dealing with all the extra bits of yarn hanging out everywhere. Okay. An 8 would give us a whole week to vote. Yes, it would. It really would. It'd give everybody a chance to vote, even the replay viewers. That's right. That could be something fun that we could consider one week, is actually just opening up the poll to let people vote for the first colour of the next week without the dice roll. That could be interesting, right? Okay, we are here. And there's no yarn bath. So sweet as brew. That can go over there. We're not going to need that one again for a bit. Okay, we're going to do the dice roll. So let's add in a dice
It's dice roll time. Roll the dice to choose the next colour.
Flamingo. Not yet, not yet. Hang on, Abs. Abby's is like, are you finished? You guys could probably hear her. Okay, this is our last dice roll. It's 5. So we have got red, the parrot, for the next one. So I'm going to bring that over here. So there we go. We will start that. I'll make sure that the parrot is done and that the, parrot's 5. Yeah. I'll make sure that the parrot is done and the next row of pink so that we're ready for the next live stream. So that next week we can start with a fresh new colour of colours. I want to say a huge thank you to all of you for watching all the way through to the end. You guys are champions. And actually, like, I know it's a huge amount of time. Oh, Holly says that that's my green. So Holly, are you happy? Are you happy? So you want 5s when you want a green. Okay. That's awesome. I love that. So, I really do appreciate you guys spending so much time with me every single week, and it is awesome. I will catch you all next week. Have an awesome weekend, and keep an eye on my Instagram for photos of the finished hat and things like that. And I will catch you all next time. Bye now.